Morning. I'd like to call this meeting, the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission, to order at 8:32 a.m. If we can, let's stand. Ready, salute. I
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I believe we have a really safety.
All right. Next slide, please. All right. Morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. This is your quarterly safety brief. My name is Cameron Blair, Safe Security Specialist. All right. Designated person to call 911 in the room will be Jackie. Runner to get the first aid equipment will be Priscilla. And I think we have one more person. The person for CPR certification will be Ariana. All right. If you are DNR, remove your right pocket or right shoe. Exit routes going to be people from the back right here going to go through the back door. Everyone on this side is going to exit through the entrance of the boardroom, out the push door, on the platform, meeting by the designated assembly area, located on the picture right here. And everyone right here will follow to the back as well. Are there any questions? All right, that is your quarterly safety brief. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, if we can move on to a roll call.
Thank you, Commissioners Marchand. I see you online. I'm promoting panelists. Solon,
Present.
Ariola, Canepa,
Here.
Pagazi, Lackey,
Here.
Vice Chair Zuber,
Here.
Chair Craig Hensley.
Here.
Thank you, we have quorum.
Okay, and how about our ex officios?
Yes, do we have anyone on from Stan Cog? SJ Cog,
Diane Nguyen, present.
SJRTD,
Good morning, Ken Baxter here. Thanks.
Caltrans. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just a note before we move to public comment, on the agenda, I just get a typo correction, on item 5.2. Believe that at the last sentence, it should read in the amount of 4,000,004, not towards the 4, but for the San Joaquin Street Station. We don't mind those errors here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we can move on. Public comment. Any public comment on non-agenda items? Do we have any public comment online?
Seeing none online.
No public comment online. Any in the room? Seeing none in the room, we'll move on to item 5, the consent calendar. If anyone has any items they would like to pull or get more information on, commission members on consent calendar items 5.1 through 5.9. Let's do now. Not seeing any. I'll ask in the room. Anyone in the room want any public comments on consent calendar? None online.
Seeing none online.
None online. I would take a motion to approve the consent calendar 5.1 through 5.9.
So moved. Second.
Second, if you get a roll call, please.
Thank you, Commissioner Solon,
Aye.
Ariola,
Yes.
Canepa,
Yes.
Pagazi,
Yes.
Lackey,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zuber,
Yes.
Chair Craig Hensley.
Yes.
Thank you, motion passes.
Now we're moving on to this drill card. So item 6, resolution authorizing staff to move forward Valley Rail report.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. Today's item is really focused on moving the Valley Rail program forward in terms of the expansion components of the program. We have a pretty robust discussion here for you, but before we sort of get into the recommendations, I do want to take a step backward and just sort of brief the commissioners, for those who perhaps are new or newer to the Valley Rail program, just a little bit of background on the program itself, where we have been and where we are going in the future. So the Valley Rail program is a joint effort between the Commission as well as the SJJPA, which is another authority that oversees the Gold Runner service, but you are the managing agency for SJRRC. The goal of the Valley Roll program is to improve and enhance the services of ACE and Gold Runner. And there are several components of that enhancement, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So it's not just the expansion, there are other components to the program. One thing to note as we talk about the infrastructure related to the Valley Roll program, so new stations or track projects or expansions, all of those components do have to run through our host railroads. So for the A service, primarily Union Pacific, and then for the Gold Runner service, it's both Union Pacific and Burlington Northern Santa Fe or BNSF. Most of the Gold Runner service is on their alignment. So there is a lot of host railroad coordination that has to take place to kind of move this forward. Most of the funding for the Valley Road program came from a 2018 TIRSIP award, or the Transit Intercity Rail Capital Program, and also SD 132, which was provided to the Rail Commission to expand ACE. From a progress perspective, there have been, and will be in the real near future, some progress related to the Valley Road program. The first bit of that was 21 bi-level cars were procured as a part of the Valley Road program for ACE. Those cars have been received by the commission. They have been commissioned and are actually currently rotating into revenue service on the current ACE corridor. From a Gold Runner perspective, distinct from expansion, so like moving into new markets or new rail lines, there are two projects on the Gold Runner side for new stations for the current Gold Runner service. So that's Oakley Station, which is set to go into construction this year, as well as a Madera Station relocation, which is set to go into construction in the upcoming year, next year, 2027. Right now, we're in the midst of a track project with BNSF on the Gold Runner line called Lake to Escalon. And that project is currently in construction and planned to complete construction in this year. That project is SJRRC's component of the 8th round trip for Gold Runner. There are a few other projects related to the 8th round trip, but that's our portion to contribute to that process, and it's in construction and set to be completed. As we've worked through Valley Rail and Valley Rail expansion, you set up a committee to hear sort of the detailed discussion around the program itself. There are quite a few decisions and sort of processes, including designing stations and moving the program forward. So you set up a committee that is made up of two of your members. So currently the committee members from the commission are Chair Lisa Craig Hensley and Vice Chair Leo Zuber, and then two members from the San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority. Vito Chiesa, supervisor from Stanislaus, and Pat Hume, supervisor from Sacramento. And those four members make up your committee. They typically meet after your commission meetings, where they hear briefings from staff on how the progress of Valley Rail has been moving forward. Over the past several months, we've been giving them detailed briefings related to some of the challenges with the expansion portion of Valley Rail and how to move that program forward, not just in design, but also in negotiations with Union Pacific, as well as prioritizing or concentrating the program. At their October meeting, we discussed some pretty high level and distinct challenges related to the Valley Rail program, primarily constraints on how much funding is currently available in the program, and then the cost of all of the projects related to expanding the service. So the service currently is planned to expand both north to Sacramento and then south into Stanislaus County. And we are pursuing both of those expansions simultaneously. And the cost of those projects all assembled really outpace the funding that we received. And so in the committee meeting, we talked about that in October, as well as, well, how do we get there? Well, one reason for that is there have been significant cost increases on the construction side, particularly in the steel industry, where most of the projects that are related to the Valley Rail program include a lot of steel components. Think of like laying track for new sidings or new double track sections, or there are stations that have quite a few steel components, and those certainly are driving up the cost, as well as labor rates in the construction industry increasing. There's also been some changes in what was required of the Valley Rail program from Union Pacific. those have been incorporated into the cost structure of the individual projects. We're really seeing the costs outstrip the funding that was allocated to those projects. And then as we talked through that, the committee directed staff to re-engage with Union Pacific to really try to see if we could get them to lower the capital components of the program and see if we can get that budget underneath the current available funding. So staff engaged in that negotiation process with Union Pacific. We took them some very clear directives. We have so much on the funding side to fund these projects. It is an investment like in their infrastructure. And over the course of October and November, we discussed various scenarios of the service that we wanted to operate from Stanislaus County, service that we wanted to operate sort of out of Sacramento County, and then trying to trim some of the capital improvements to get us to revenue service. Unfortunately, over those negotiations, UP was not in a position to lower the capital projects that are currently outlined for those service expansions. And so we sort of left October and November timeframe sort of with the same budget challenge that we had going into it. And at that point, staff brought an item in January to the committee, really focusing on concentrating project delivery either initially in the north or in the south to get the program moving into construction and get to revenue service. Really, the thought process here was we need to show progress on the funding that we have received and leverage that progress to go after new funding sources for areas in which we would need funding next. And this approach would provide staff and the commission, as well as the JPA, is really a lot of focus. So the capital delivery team would focus their efforts on an initial set of projects for construction, get those projects constructed and show that progress. Additionally, for the grants team, it would focus them on, well, we know where the gaps are now, and we need to move those grant opportunities to fund the segment that wasn't prioritized initially. And really show progress. So the ability for us to put some shovels in the ground and say, yeah, Valley Rail is moving forward. So really this did require a lot of discussion and a lot of analysis of potential service scenarios, both in the north as well as in the south. One of the things to note about your committee is that it does include a member from the southern segment of Valley Rail, as well as a member from the northern segment of Valley Rail. So both geographies for these expansions are represented on the committee. We had a robust discussion over a few meetings about sort of the particulars of these service plans, and staff's recommendation in January was to prioritize or concentrate initial project delivery in the northern segment. And that recommendation to the committee was really built upon these four principles: was a return on investment. So the return on investment in the north, particularly as you would look at maybe ridership, how many riders could we get to ride the initial service, was higher in the northern segment than in the southern segment. Readiness for construction. So if one of our goals and initiatives is to put shovels in the ground and show progress as quickly as possible, the northern projects are more ready for construction than some of the more complex projects in the southern segment. And there's a sort of a better utility of the north. You get 3 stations in the north compared to the one that we would be able to construct in the south. And then those the northern segment also has improvements for both ACE and Gold Runner service. So that put together really did score it higher on the utility, as well as from a funder support. So most of the Valley Rail program is funded by the state of California, and their focus from our planning efforts with them is on the northern segment. Part of that has to do with our connection, or the Gold Runner's future connection with high-speed rail, and they need a place to deliver that 8th round trip that I talked about previously, and really the northern segment meets that need for them. So from a funder support perspective, they were more supportive of the north moving before the south. After receiving this information, this is the slide. just to talk about, well, what would happen with this sort of concentration in the north? Here are some things that will be happening over the next several months. Should you also ratify the recommendation, we would have some projects that would go into construction in the near term. So if you sort of look at the 2027 column, the Oakley Station, the Stockton Y would be completed. The Del Paso siding, these are projects in the north, the Natoma Station and the Midtown Station would all start construction. So in the very near term, we would be putting shovels in the ground and showing progress on the Valley Rail program. After receiving sort of this recommendation from staff, the committee approved the recommendation to concentrate initial implementation in Valley Rail North, and then continuing project development and pursuing grant opportunities for Valley Rail South. Those are really the two components of their recommendation to you. And I will note, of the 4-person committee, all were present, and it was a unanimous approval of that recommendation to you as a commission. So today's recommendation is for the Rail Commission to authorize staff to move forward based on the committee's recommendation to you. And those two components here: concentrating initial implementation in Valley Rail North, and then continuing project development and pursuing grant opportunities in Valley Rail South. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Leclerc. I just want to make a note for the benefit of those who will be joining us, and welcome, by the way, Councilwoman from Antigua, Virginia Lackey, and our supervisor, Stockton here, Paul Canapa. I may ask you to say a few words later. But what I want to address is the fact that this has been going on for a couple of years now. I think we all remember the joint meeting with the JPA about bundling. We talked a lot about that in order to bring costs down and keep projects moving. There were stations, of 14 stations. I know we put Lodi on the back burner, so we gave up something. I think it's on the back burner as well.
No, even on a bird.
Okay, so I think frankly, we have, and staff has worked diligently to do as much as we possibly can to bring the project into something that's more manageable. Our challenges can continue. And hopefully one of the things I highlight is that if we're focusing on fewer projects, maybe we can get UP moving more quickly with the approvals that we need to keep them going forward. So that is one benefit of it. So we have had long discussions on this topic, and I just want to thank staff for being creative, thoughtful, flexible, addressing what are certainly the politics of some of these decisions. We know where some of our funding has come from substantially, and we will eventually get to Valley South. But Valley North, that ROI meant everything, I think, to us. So at any rate, I just want to make that comment. And with that, if there are questions from any of the members? Yes.
So what's the first one? What's the budget shortfall for the south one? And then will all taking their money fully fund the north version, or?
Yes, so the service plan that we presented to the committee in the south had a budget shortfall of just north of near $250 million. And that didn't include all of the stations that we had planned to build in the south. And one of the challenges that we found in the south, there wasn't a place to lay over the station or lay over the train like after operations in Modesto. So that was something that the committee considered. Does it make sense to run a train down to Modesto, like, and pay for that cost? So that was one of the challenges. So one of the efforts that we have done is be able to move funding from projects to fully fund like the northern segment, so that we're not in a position where we have a shortfall and we can move forward into construction for all of the projects for that service.
The question is, what was the ask from Union Pacific? So I mean, what was the dollar amount you're trying to get out of them?
Yeah, so we were trying to lower their almost like 50%, like about $400 million out of the program to move on both segments. And so we offered them some ideas. So when you look at the project list for Valley Rail, a lot of times the projects are stated like the Modesto Station project. But what the Modesto Station project really is, yes, it is a station, but it's also all of the double track associated with that station. So for Modesto in particular, there's 7 miles of double track that are required to be built as a part of that station project. In Ceres, there are 6 miles of double track. And so one of the strategies we tried to use with UP was to say, well, could we shorten those double track sections And then in one area, could we eliminate a portion of the double track to get service started? Not to say we won't come back and build that, but we need to lower the initial build to start service. And those discussions that, around and around with them in terms of their capacity, what they plan for their freight service, what we're planning for passenger service, really was a non-starter for them. I think one of the things that they particularly pointed out to staff was they had already deferred like projects associated with the Valley Rail program in previous negotiations with us, including a couple of bridges that are on the list in the south, and they were not in a position to defer any further projects like to get service started.
What other questions? So then is there more grant funding that's coming available for South?
Yeah, so I already identified 3 different grant funds that we will be going after. These are competitive funds, so we will be competing for those alongside other projects. But we'll continue to look for opportunities for the South to get it funded.
Can't hear one, but
Those are great funds.
Anyone else?
I have comments, but that'll be after.
Okay, and any online?
Not online.
Okay, all right. So with that, I'm gonna go open this to public for public comment. Do we have any public comment online?
Seeing none online.
Any public comment in the room today? None in the room, discussion?
Yes, so thank you. So, this has been going on for a while. Before Chair joined us, we've been, discussing this and the expansion, both north and south. And I think we really, I always say, think smarter, not harder. And the fact is that we need to be able to show progress. We need to be able to complete some of this so we can say, hey, look, we're already, on our way. And we need some of this gap funding in order to complete these projects because the costs are only gonna go up. So if we're able to get some of these things done now, I think of like credit cards, you just wanna pay one of them off and then you can go to the next one. And so, and the confusion with Modesto, I wouldn't say confusion, but remember we had one location and then there was discussion about another location, me being able to really serve that community to the best of our abilities, was it downtown, was it on the fringe, where was it? But we need to keep moving. We definitely need to keep moving and having grant funding identified, I think is extremely important and being able to continue to look for additional funding to really bring us across the finish line. So I appreciate the fact that we're looking at ways to be able to check off, okay, 2026, check, we got this one done, 2027, check, we got that one done. So I think that this is the best approach and I'm in full support of it.
All right, just one additional comment I would make, because of the fact that I think I've served now on COG for 3 years. We've never done an update on where we are with progress on Valley Rail. So I've spoken to a CEO about arranger, and I think this timing here is good to do that because of the decision that will come out of this commission today of where we are, besides where you are. So we can get that in front of the COG. So even though a number of us sit on COG, I think this is a larger concern for transportation in this region. So with that, if there are no other comments or questions, I would
Move to approve.
Thank you. Wait a sec.
Motion and second.
Okay, sorry. Get quiet. Okay, roll call please.
Thank you. Commissioners Ariola,
Yes.
Canepa,
yes.
Bugatti,
Yes.
Blackie,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zuber,
Yes.
Chair Greg Hensley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on, item 7, for public hearing on staff of families commission based. Ms. B.
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Angela Pugh. I'm the Human Resources Manager here at the Rail Commission. Just a little background. This is agency-wide Rail Commission information for 2025. And it includes workforce, hiring process, recruitment, and retention information. For workforce information, current total budgeted authorized full-time employee positions. Staff report included 79 total employees. As of Monday, March 2nd, 3 additional employees began their employment at the agency, which brings our current total employee count to 82. Services rendered to public by budgeted authorized workforce are for the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission, ACE, and San Joaquin Joint Powers Authority. Our hiring process remains the same. Vacancy is created. Hiring manager initiates the recruitment process. Determine recruitment activity type, job posting, application screening, candidate assessment if applicable, candidate interview panel 1, candidate interview panel 2, candidate selection, conditional job offer, pre-placement process, and then outplacement. For recruitment information, recruitment statistics are total number of positions posted were 20, total number of vacancies filled 15, average number of calendar days to fill vacancies 66, number of vacancies filled by internal recruitment 3, vacancies filled by new external recruitment. For retention information, retention statistics, number of vacancies created by retirement 1, number of vacancies created by involuntary separation 3, number of vacancies created by voluntary separation 7, annual staffing turnover rate is 10.13%. For retention information, continue. I will not. 1, 2, 3. For retention. Continue internal growth, number of employees promoted to higher level positions 3. We continue to develop career paths and offer training and development opportunities. The Rail Commission continues to offer competitive rates, benefits package, retirement, and accrued time off, and we do not foresee any hiring concerns at this time. There is no fiscal impact associated with receiving this report and conducting the public hearing required under Government Code Section 32053. However, addressing recruitment and retention issues may involve future budgets, which will be presented to the board as necessary. Staff recommends that following public comment, the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission Board make a motion to accept this report on the status of vacancies, recruitments, and retention for the calendar year 2025 and compliance with AD.
Any questions from commissioners? Online, any questions?
Seeing none online.
Just a couple questions. The on-hold positions are not budgeted positions. They're currently in the process of being assessed, and I think maybe I might be presupposing, but did the decision we just made on Valley Rail North influence that in any way?
No, they are budgeted positions.
They
Our
are.
goal means we're not actively recruiting them.
Okay.
And all of those positions we're assessing as part of the upcoming work plan.
Okay, so we may look at them for this year or into next year.
Exactly.
Okay.
To assess our need income.
Okay, and along those lines, do we see ourselves moving more away from outside consulting services to bringing some of that in-house with expertise in-house? That's one of our goals.
Yeah, I think strategically, definitely, the scale of the Valley Rail projects, though, will always require a significant amount of consulting help, just because we can't flex and train to manage that. So I think we'll always have, as long as we're implementing the Valley Rail program, we'll always have a significant amount of consultant help. But yeah, the goal would be internally to build our internal capacity.
Thank you, appreciate hearing that.
So all jobs are full-time FTE.
Full-time FTEs, yes, for all positions, so. Any comments from the public online? Oh, we have to open a public, so I'll open the public hearing at 9:02 a.m.
Thank you. Seeing none online.
Okay, any in the room? Seeing none, close public. 3. Okay, so at this point, we have the recommendation from staff. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So.
A second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, roll call please.
Thank you. Commissioners Ariola,
Yes.
Canepa.
Yes.
Fugazi.
Yes.
Lackey,
Yes.
Vice Chair Zuber,
Yes.
Chair Craig Hensley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Very good, thank you. Hey, Mr. Rodriguez, we're gonna hear about a special trains update.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners. My name is Freddie Rodriguez. I'm the marketing coordinator, and I'll be going over the special trainings recap. Yeah, so special trains program. Oops. There we go.
Good.
Okay, special trains program overview. Our special train criteria was we had a reestablished partnership with the hosting venue, Levi Stadium, back in 2023. Our program goal was to expand brand awareness of the ACE service, provide incremental ridership from the leisure market, and offset operational costs with ticket sales and growth in regular weekday ridership. And in the ticketing perspective, we wanted to travel permitted along the entire ACE corridor and valid for round trip travel. And then our marketing strategy was all that's listed on the right-hand side. I'll really touch on the social media, our paid search, and then our ribbon cutting that we had at the inaugural kickoff of the season. And here's our creative design. So on the left-hand side, that's what our special train tickets look like, our season pass. It was a limited time offer that you would purchase the tickets for the season pass prior to the first game kickoff. And you would get 8 tickets for the price of 7. And we had a total of 8 of those tickets sold for the season passes. And here's a video of our marketing strategy that we had.
If you're going to Levi Stadium for a 49ers game this season, you've got to check out Ace's Special Trains. Get game day ready, head to your nearest Ace station, and hop on board. You'll arrive at Levi Stadium well before kickoff with just a short 5-minute walk from the station. You won't have to pay for event parking.
And you'll bypass traffic after the event. Plus, you'll have a safe and easy ride to and from the stadium.
Get your tickets now on the Ace Rail mobile ticket app.
Awesome, and that video was broadcasted through our Facebook, all our social media channels and things like that. As well as our creative design and outreach. On the left-hand side, you can see that we had our ribbon cuttings at our stocking station, Lathrop, Manteca, and Tracy. We had a great turnout. We partnered with our local chambers to get these events going. We had a lot of people enthusiastic, happy, we had food trucks, things like that. It was just a great turnout. And we had a lot of our board members show up, appreciation of the service. And then on the right-hand side, you can see what our landing page looked like. So we wanted to make sure we showed the public that we're new to the service, what we have to offer on the train, and then as well as our season train schedule, and then it would be accessible to purchase tickets through our mobile app. And then here's our paid advertising, August through December of 2025, when we ran all our paid searches. We had a little over 5.5 million impressions. So that means people are able to see, what's going on. They're able to see, special trains to the special games, things like that. The really one I want to point out is the Google search. 20% of Google search people looking at Google, 20% of those were going to our website to see the landing page. The industry standard is 4.68, which is a great turnout as 20%. And then as well as the paid media search, the industry standard is 0.9% on clicking to the actual website, but we had a total of 1.9%, which is a great bump from what the industry standard is. And as you can see, our season overview of ticket sales. On the right-hand side is our current season of 2025. We sold a total of 4,741 tickets, which is an average of 527 riders. And then our top 3 boarding stations were Lathrop, Manteca with 1,391, Pleasanton 850, and then Stockton 830. And then the asterisk for the Sunday, February 8th game, that was a Super Bowl game that we also ran service for. And it was a 77% increase from previous year to this year's ridership. And then ridership by event, as you can see here, the bars pick this current season. And then the darker blue bar is 2024 and the lighter blue bar is 2023. It is good to note the 49ers and Panthers game on November 24th was a Monday night game. So it does show a little bit lower ridership, but that's because it wasn't a weekend game. And then ridership by events to the Super Bowl. So a total of tickets sold was 284, which was kind of what we were gauging and thinking that it was going to be a lot lower than expected, just because 70% of Super Bowl tickets already had transportation included in their purchases. So Pleasanton was our biggest ticket sale station at 117, which amounted to 41% of our total ridership. And then the Tri-Valley was our core market with Pleasanton, Livermore, and Vasco Road. A total of 175 tickets at 62%. And our secondary markets showed solid participation with Fremont at 12%. And then our Northern San Joaquin Valley stations at a total of 67 riders, which is 24%. And then our this is kind of like a rider retention in our sense. So special event train regular service ridership conversion. So like I said, we had a total of 4,741 tickets sold, and our unique customer accounts of the 1,694 passengers who purchased tickets for special trains this past season, 1,447 had no prior purchases through the current or previous version of the mobile app. While some may have previously used paper tickets, special train tickets are only available through the mobile app. And importantly, 36 of the new passengers, which is 2.49%, transition into regular ACE riders. This demonstrates that the special train program is not only driving one-time event ridership, but also serving as an effective customer acquisition and retention tool. Converting nearly 2.5% of new riders into repeat customers reflects meaningful long-term ridership growth and ongoing revenue potential beyond the initial special train trip. And then preparations for fiscal year 26 and 27 and beyond. The impact of the shuttle relocation, staff will be coming back with the information at the April Rail Commission meeting regarding that item. And staff will be coming back in May as well for board approval to operate special trains for the upcoming fiscal year. And then the San Francisco 49ers schedule is scheduled to be released in mid-May. And then also for the FIFA World Cup, we are conducting surveys to gauge interest for the ACE special train service, as well as our operations staff is meeting with the Bay Area Host Committee to understand the needs for to serve the games. And then once those requests are clear, staff will bring information forward. And fiscal impact, there's no fiscal impact, and recommendation for this item is only there's no action required.
Thanks, Rodriguez. Any questions from members? Okay. And none online soon.
Saying that.
Just, I was particularly interested because I think I'd asked for that information about transitioning to regular riders. So I'm glad we're tracking that, because the same thing I would imagine if you're surfing and you're getting your special train, let me just go over here and see what regular ticket costs. So I'm glad to see we're tracking that, because that is the opportunity for us to orient them to their options for their regular commute service. Is Pleasanton a very large parking area there? I'm just wondering if that's why it's more centralized for people to park.
Yeah, there is parking there, and what we see both with the regular special trains and then the Super Bowl special trains is people getting close and parking and then
Right.
so that's that. So in addition to route the corridor, special trains, it is a way sort of an offsite parking, so you can see that station there in the area.
Okay, good. And I think next year, I just make this comment, every single time he goes to the game, the DA texts me to let me know that he's on the train going to, the special train going to the 49ers. So maybe some testimonials in the video next year from our celebrity writers. I don't know if it was all would be, but.
Maybe you should have them invite you. Then.
It's next to my brother.
Oh, awesome.
We know Vice Chair will tickets. It's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this is a great momentum moving forward, and very, very much appreciate the extra effort that we're going to understand our riders a little bit more. The survey is going to support. So, any comments from the board on this item?
Seeing none online.
And any in the room? Seeing none, this is informational only, so thank you. Previous for you.
And I can attest that Mr. Zuber was the celebrity at the ribbon cutting.
Okay, we are now moving on to board member comments, and I'd like to welcome and ask our two newest members, maybe you can say a few words about joining the commission and what yours and so forth. So I will start with Mr. Campus.
That's ladies first, right? And come on.
Ms. Lackey, do you have a few comments to make? We welcome you and glad to see your face.
I apologize for not being present in the room. I don't know if, I think Lisa might know, but I've been ill the past couple of weeks with bronchitis, and so I didn't feel that I'm 100% just yet, so I didn't want to subject any of you to what I might still be battling. So we were able to get me online. So I'm excited to be on this board. I'm thrilled. I had an update with Chris the other day, and he kind of walked me through everything, and I just seen the progress that you guys have made and being able to be part of that impact. I'm very excited for it, especially since my daughter will be going off to college in Reading, and knowing that there's the train option for her to come home instead of having to drive all the time. I'm telling you, it's just icing on the cake. So I'm excited to work with all of you.
Thank you. Glad to have you join us. Mr. Piano.
So the main reasons is the days you meet and the times you meet. That's so exciting. What better way to be a public servant to come on a Friday in the early. That's why my supervisor didn't jump ship, right? So, no, one of the main reasons is like the college thing 13 years ago, and it's been a progression for me. I mean, obviously I'm the Stockton City Council and through the bankruptcy and seeing the maintenance facility come online, and then my daughter too also went to San Jose State. So it was the first time that she's now 31 years old, so that's 13 years ago. You know what I mean, that I came down here and put her on the train to go take some testing during the time. So there was the moments of tears out here, sending her off. So for me, it's just learning, you know what I mean? I always come and immerse myself, and I think that's the thing. And so here I am learning rail. So thank you for welcoming me, and hopefully it can be an asset.
We are pleased to have a county representative in this body. So thank you very much for stepping up and joining us at 8:30 in the morning and joining us. So
thank you very much.
Okay. Any other? Yes.
Yes, I want to say that yesterday was a really fun day. I got to be here for Customer Appreciation Day, and I was here with Duncan from the Stockton Kings. And Duncan saved me from going off into the tracks. I wasn't really paying attention, and the sun was in my eyes. I was looking for the drink, and he stopped me from going off into the drink. But it was nice to speak to some of the riders, those that were getting on, the new Gold Runner, the branding, and I'm looking forward to seeing the video that comes out on that. But passengers were really happy about getting some swag and getting cookies and some beverages. There were 2 riders that said they take it regularly to Sacramento. They have family that's here, so they come down here and they go to Sacramento. And one guy was excited. He said, I bought not only one year-round $250 pass because they're $4.99 and he got it on sale. He goes, I bought 2. So he's retired and he's just traveling. He's just using it, the pass to go see other places in the United States. The other thing I wanted to mention was that Alex Kaufman, the Director of Government Affairs for Amtrak, came into town last week, and it's been quite a while since he's actually been here and sat down and spoken to the mayor of Stockton, and Adele came over and he brought cookies and pins. So thank you for that, because he knows food is my love language. But it was nice to also hear that, kind of the mini explosion that Amtrak is having with ridership, with the earnings. I think was about $4 million that they did, which was more than they've ever done previously. And thankfully, they continue to receive the same amount of funding, which makes it possible then to be able to offer services that riders want. And so I just wanted to share that. It was a big 5 days of rail starting from last Friday and going to yesterday. And I'm very optimistic about the future of rail here. As soon as Channel Street gets done, they'll be able to, hopefully people won't mind a layover here in Stockton and want to go down to the water. Why not, right?
Any other comments from commissioners? I just want to add, some of you know, I always read the federal briefing that's in our packet, and it was an interesting read about, the push for autonomous vehicles. I've had, people chat with me about the fact that, Lisa, it's all about the autonomous vehicle. I'm like, you can't commute on a regular basis with hundreds of people in an autonomous vehicle. So all that's doing is contributing more to congestion on the road. So I do believe it's important for us to get briefed by our lobbying firm before we go to one voice. So that we have a very strong argument about why our request for our project is key, is important, and why it's critical to continue to rely on traditional rail for commuters. So Mr. Orlando said he will work to arrange that for us. So I think that's all I have to say. So we are going to move on now to the ex-officio comments. Stan Cog is not with us still.
I see Stan Cobb on the line. I'm promoting now. If you can accept promotion. Okay, they are rejoining now. We have Jean Coletta on for Stan.
Yeah, Mayor Zawellen isn't able to attend today, so we have no comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wedding. Moving on, Ms. Ewan, we have from SJRRC. Diane, you with us?
Thank you, Chair Craig Hensley. Diane Nguyen with San Joaquin Council of Governments. I wanted to share that the San Joaquin Valley Policy Council, an 18-member council made up of 8 regional transportation planning agencies, elected officials from the San Joaquin Valley, and also includes members of the Air District and the San Joaquin JPA. We held our Advocacy Day in Sacramento yesterday, and it's a full day where the Policy Council members met with state senators and assembly members to advocate for a legislative platform that unifies the San Joaquin Valley. I wanted to go over some of the things that were part of the policy pillars of the San Joaquin Valley Policy Council, and also mention that Chair of your JPA, Doug Verboon, was present and part of that advocacy effort. One of the overarching principles of the San Joaquin Valley Policy Council is to improve air quality, mobility, and equity through transportation choices without compromising economic vitality. And 2 main policy principles I wanted to bring to your attention that was advocated for with our state senators and assembly members include number 1, increasing transit funding access. And that is through 2 ways. One is to advocate for the preservation of existing transit funding programs and not have those programs face any cuts, and also to advocate for increased transit funding opportunities for public transit. Another policy pillar that was fundamental in our advocacy platform is increasing passenger rail service. We all recognize that the mode shift, which is trying to get folks out of their cars into public transit, can only be possible by providing more connectivity to public transit, including passenger rail. So investments in passenger rail was a common component in the things that we emphasize with our legislators. I also wanted to say, Chair Craig Hensley, I did take a note to reach out to your CEO to schedule an upcoming meeting at the COG board for a Valley Rail presentation. That would be very welcome at the COG to hear the latest updates on Valley Rail. Thank you all. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you for your advocacy on behalf of rail. We look forward to the update, so we appreciate your consideration. Moving on, Mr. Baxter.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. I would like to share just a few quick items. And first, I just want to welcome all the new commissioners. And I would like to announce that we have 3 new board members. They include our new board chair, Derek Graves, and directors Geneva Murad and Aaron Edwards. And we have 2 current board vacancies, and we anticipate they will be filled in the near future. I'm also pleased to announce the selection of our former RTD Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Kimberly Turner, as the interim CEO here at RTD. Kimberly sends her greetings. She could not make it, and she hopes to attend future meetings. The RTD board appointed Kimberly to ensure continuity of leadership and operational stability. She is well respected, as we know, throughout the transit industry, and we are very happy that she's joined the RTD team. On a personal note, I'd just like to share with you that I previously served under Kimberly's leadership, and it is once again an honor and a pleasure to serve with her and under her leadership. RTD's immediate focus is on improving ridership, being responsive, strategic planning, and managing the fiscal budget. The transformation of the RTD board brings a new opportunity for improved collaboration and partnership. We hope to strengthen our partnerships and to resolve any outstanding issues. And then lastly, I'd just like to share that RTD recently signed a support letter for the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission's application for funding for the Federal Railroad Administration's Partnership for Intercity Passenger Rail Program. And it is my wish and hope that the grant funding will be awarded to the Rail Commission. This concludes my comments, and thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter, and I would just note that your new CEO got excellent training when she was working here with the Rail Commission. So we had a lovely conversation about that after the last COG meeting, and you're welcome. So,
thank you for sharing that. I will share that with Kimberly if that's okay. And I just want to say that our paths, Kimberly and I, have crossed over the decades in state service. And so it's just refreshing, and it's great for me at least, to serve under her leadership. And I'm very excited about this opportunity. But I'll share your comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Moss or Caltrans on today?
I do not see a representative for Caltrans on.
Okay, all right. With that, we've completed ex officio comments, and we are moving to our CPO report. Mr. Orlando.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just a few items today. First, I'd like to add my welcome to our new commissioners. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you here. If there's anything I can do or staff can do to ease your transition, please let us know. As Councilmember Latin wanted to do that earlier this week, and Supervisor Canada, we have some time scheduled. So if there's anything you need as you come on board, any background, please do let us know. Happy to provide that. Also like to recognize, as Angela noted, we have some new staff members. So I'd like to recognize and ask our new staff members to stand up, and their supervisors are here to introduce them. Go ahead, Alex.
Alex Goodwin, interim supervisor, maintenance department. The new hires here, Scott Carvello and David Tenable.
Can you tell us their area of service?
They are grounds workers.
Grounds workers. Okay, thank you.
Both
You're
positions,
essential.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. I'm on Yow, I'm the Procurement Contract Manager for the Rail Commission, and we have Stephanie and Azeka that are joining us as contract specialists. Good morning, I'm Jacqueline Hernandez, Manager of Administration. I'm pleased to introduce Stella Leon. She's an administrative assistant, and she'll be stationed here at this office.
Thank you. Welcome to you all. You're joining a very skilled, robust staff. So much appreciated from you.
Two other quick updates, sorry, Chair. One, I wanted to share with the commission that in February, the staff was successful in finding $323 million in railroad liability insurance coverage, and then just this week we decided to get that amount increased to $400 million. So as the commission knows, we're legislatively bound to have that coverage, and it's a requirement of our host railroad access agreements. And so a lot of effort from David and from Brian in that, and a lot of support from the chair to get that done. It's a big accomplishment for the agency. So, and I will say that insurance was bound not only at the amounts we needed, but at a reasonable rate, which is an accomplishment in this environment. Many agencies are out right now in the market. And so we were pretty successful in securing that insurance. So it's a big milestone for the agency. And then one other small update. When you walk in the building, if you looked up, you noticed that we are making some really great progress on the Cabral Station renovation. So the lobby pre-painting has been completed, and I will say it looks beautiful. So on your way out, please do look up. Next up is this room. So when we're here next month, this room will have a makeover as well, and have the repainting. So we'll look forward to that. Hopefully the paint smell will have dissipated by that time, and just be able to enjoy the updated room. So all I have for today. So
Thank you, Mr. Orlando. And again, I said this at the last meeting, but compliments to our staff for our stellar safety record, because that made a huge difference with our insurance providers. So thank you again to the staff for that. We're at point now with the community closed session, and so
Thank you very much. We have 3 items on closed sessions. Item 12 was pending litigation, Office of Legal Counsel, Government Code Section 54956.9, subsections A. One case, Farley Johnson Carter versus the Alki Mutual Rail Commission. That case is pending in Alameda County Superior Court. Case number 24-3079639. Item 13. That is Conference of Legal Counsel pending litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection A. We have 3 cases that is concerned properties at what is going to be our Natoma station. Those properties are located on Blacktop Road, and they are unlawful detainer actions for tenants on the property. And then lastly, item 14 is a closed session. Public employee performance evaluation conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Sections 54957 and 54957.6. The agency designated representative is Lisa Craig Hensley, the board chair. The unrepresented employee is general counsel. And with that, we are ready to adjourn.
I would note for the record here that the regular and special members can stay on for item 12, so I can lose you all, and then off for items 13 and 14. So with that, we'll adjourn this.
How
are you?
I thought you guys forgot about me.
Oh, yes. It's a little late on it. Right. Well, who does pretty good, it's like, yeah, a good time out there.
You got it. Okay.
I thought you were eating that leftover. Good. Have you been out there yet? Where, out there, see? If there's anything left? Yeah.
Are we?
No.
Okay, we'll turn to open session at 10:09 a.m. Do we have a report about family?
Yes, thank you very much. Item 12, that is closed session item on with legal counsel regarding pending litigation with Barbara Johnson Carter versus the commission. That item was discussed, direction was given by the commission, and at this time there is no other report of action. Item 13, which was conference with legal counsel concerning 3 tenants on real property located on Blacktop Road in what is the Natomas Station area. That item was discussion and information only. No other reportable action at this time, and I will defer to the chair on item 14 since that concerns.
Mr. Orlando, you want to report out?
Yeah, on item 14, the commission provided direction to the labor negotiators and by commission update.
Thank you, sir. With that, we are adjourned to our next regular meeting date, April 3rd at 8 a.m.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.